There's 2 rounds left of the 2024 season, and in this round in Las Vegas, both World Championships could be decided. Hello folks, welcome back. I'm Aaron, and today I'm bringing you the Las Vegas Grand Prix weekend, which includes a sprint race. But before we dive into that, like I said in the intro, both World Championships could be decided today. Now, we'll jump straight to that because it's quite a straightforward process for the Constructors' Championship. We at Mercedes have a 44-point lead, and there are still 88, there's still sort of like 96 points on the table, including the sprint. As long as we lead by 44 points at the end of this round, then we're world champions of the Constructors table, because the gap is currently 44 points. We have 12 wins to Red Bull's 9, so they wouldn't be able to overhaul us on countback. So as long as we're 44 points clear, job's done in the Constructors Championship with a round to spare. It's a little less straightforward in the Drivers' Championship, but it could be swung either way if either Max Verstappen or George Russell fail to finish or fail to score in both races in this episode. So of course we've got the sprint, which gives out points 1st to 8th, and then obviously we've got the Grand Prix. So it's possible, it's unlikely, but it's definitely possible. And George Russell, who has not led the World Championship at all so far this season, and I think only Max Verstappen has led the entirety of this save, George Russell could overtake Max Verstappen at the top of the championship in the sprint if he finishes ahead of him. Lewis Hamilton, I haven't checked the maths on it, but I would assume his title bid is basically done. He is going to be playing a number 2 role now to George Russell, so we'll be trying to use him as a spoiler basically. He is now our Valtteri Bottas for the next 2 races. So let's talk about races, and in fact let's get straight to it, because there's one practice session, then we're into qualifying, then the sprint and the Grand Prix. So that's enough preamble. I'll see you in qualifying. Just watching the first runs in 2D. We've started our flying lap. Russell is getting a slipstream, I hope, from Hamilton. Is he? Let's see if he's close enough. Yeah, that might be close enough for a slipstream, especially down the back straight. Hamilton faster in the first sector. There's a little bit of traffic with Ocon coming up here on the back straight. Is that going to interfere with us? A little bit. Russell is faster in the middle sector. Hamilton's going to get a nice tow here though, off the Alpine, and immediately goes fastest. Russell 3/10 slower. Was that all in the first sector? 2/10 in the first sector. That would have been a 10th. Well, Hamilton was couple of tenths quicker in the final sector thanks to the tow. Let's see what everybody else has got. Verstappen is faster by a 10th. Perez half second off. Leclerc 3/4 of a second down. So we're very much in the game here, and especially with Hamilton, if he can disrupt Verstappen, that is going to be very useful. Right, here we go then. Final runs of qualifying for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. This video comes out on the Friday of the Las Vegas Grand Prix, the first ever Las Vegas Grand Prix in real life. So let me know your thoughts on the upcoming weekend in Vegas. Who's going to win? Probably Max Verstappen. But what sort of racing are we going to get? Is it going to be a bit like Baku 2016, or is it going to be absolute carnage and chaos? Personally, I'm hoping for carnage and chaos, because I think we've been short of that this year. Let's get to these qualifying laps then. End of the first sector. Lewis Hamilton is improving. George Russell doesn't improve. He's not improved on that first sector, which wasn't particularly good anyway on his first lap. We're not getting the slipstream I'd hoped for from Verstappen. I think we sent the cars out a little bit too late. Hamilton, a personal best. Russell not improving. That is far from ideal. Verstappen is going faster in the middle sector. Checkered flag is out. Verstappen hasn't actually improved his time. Lewis Hamilton stays second fastest. doesn't improve his lap time. George Russell also doesn't improve his lap time. An anticlimactic end to qualifying. Perez stays 4th. Leclerc, what is he going to pull out? Let's keep an eye on Sainz. Alonso stayed there. Sainz has gone 3rd and displaced Russell. Leclerc across the line now goes 3rd. So Russell down in 5th, at least for the sprint. That is not particularly helpful, I'll be honest. Not the qualifying session we were hoping for from George Russell. Yeah, if he could have repeated Q2, well, if he'd repeated Q2, he'd have been 4th. So he definitely needed to improve. Hamilton just over a 10th behind Verstappen, who takes a pole position once again. But that's Lewis's job, is to get after Max and disrupt him. And we've got to look for George Russell with strategy and make sure we get the job done in terms of overtaking and avoiding any chaos. All right, it's sprint o'clock and we can make it on the softs. We've got 2 brand new sets of soft tyres to use, and this way we also keep, well, we've got 3 sets of mediums, so I didn't realise we had 3 sets of mediums. Maybe a change of plan. Maybe we put, because it's going to be a bit tight on the softs. Actually, yes, I will go to the mediums. Change of plan. We're going to the mediums, although that's still on attack, so ignore that. The mediums will make it to the end. It'll be fine. I'm not underfueling because I want to spend the time attacking rather than trying to save fuel. It'll be easier to attack and then save a little bit of fuel than to try and save loads of fuel to begin with. But it only lets you underfuel 1 lap, so there's not really much point. Yeah, let's do a sprint and see where we end up on the grid for the Grand Prix, because of course it's using the old sprint format still on the game. Let's do a race. It's daytime racing in Vegas. We've got 5 red lights. The lights are out, the race is on. I can't see the cars. I don't know where they are. Hamilton has lost a position though to Leclerc. He's momentarily getting it back. He's just nudged ahead. Where's George Russell? He's sneaking up the inside of Carlos Sainz. Good start from him, but I can't see anything. Here we go. I think we might just have to spend the entire race on board because there seems to be a weird mist in Vegas. Maybe it's just sand. It's only 1 lap in the sprint, isn't it? So perhaps on the back straight, or maybe even now, Lewis Hamilton takes the lead of the sprint, does he? I think he's just going to sneak through. There we go. Job done. No, still not. We're still just side by side. It's carnage here in terms of trying to get the overtake done. We will drive in clean air to get this one done. Here we go. The DRS will be active for Lewis Hamilton. And that's P1 for the 7-time world champion. We might need to think about picking up the pace a little bit more. In fact, I'm going to ask him to attack. We'll heat the tyres up, but we do need to close the gap. We've got a safety car. We have got a safety car. Now what? Do we throw this set of softs on? This helps out everyone on softs. I don't think we pit. I wonder if anyone pits. I doubt it, because tyre-wise, they don't need to. But we can now just absolutely go for it on our tyres. This bails out the soft runners as well. So, is and isn't helpful for us. Verstappen's tyres were beginning to struggle. The softs were... Oh, they're all pitting. Everybody who's on softs is pitting. What are they going to? Another set of softs. What have Red Bull just done? They've conceded track position. Leclerc got stuck in the pit lane. Right, well, we're just going to have to bolt. I did not see that coming. That is absolutely incredible. for now, George, don't fight your teammate. What we're just going to try and do is break away as they all fan out behind. Lewis Hamilton restarts this sprint in Las Vegas. And, well, Verstappen, he needs to pull off a bit of a miracle here, because he's about to lose. We'll call it 8 points, because we will have to issue team orders here. We will have to ask Lewis Hamilton to move out of the way and give up this win, at least in the sprint, to maximise George Russell's advantage. And especially if Verstappen gets stuck in 9th or 10th, then it could be an 8-point gain for George Russell. We'll just drop our tyre aggression for now. What I will also ask Lewis to do is rarely defend, so that when George does eventually come past, which is going to be now, we can make that as easy as possible. George Russell takes the lead of the sprint. Oh, don't crash. Please don't crash. There we go. Get the don't fight teammate on. There we go. Just let him through. Don't fight him. Please don't fight. What, Lewis, what are you doing? Thank you. Okay, we're approaching the start of the final lap. Max Verstappen has just got into 3rd place. So the Dutchman has pulled off that miracle that we said he needed to. He was a second faster than us last time around, but he's not going to catch us on this lap, I shouldn't think. So he actually got Sainz right behind him. Well, it's kind of close, but not particularly close. For us, we're fine. Nothing has happened in terms of anything really. We're just happy at the front. It's the final lap. George Russell is going to take the lead of the Drivers' World Championship through winning this sprint. Thank you very much to Lewis Hamilton for giving up the lead, although he's got DRS and he's going to just close up on his teammate. That call by Red Bull to concede track position hasn't worked. They've handed us the victory. George Russell wins the sprint by 1/10 of a second from Lewis Hamilton. It's victory for us. It's the lead of the championship for George Russell. I don't know what Red Bull were doing there. I've just got no words. But anyway, George Russell wins the sprint. We don't need to watch this bit because the Grand Prix is next and we need to be winning that one. Lewis Hamilton actually takes fastest lap, but you don't get a point for fastest lap in the sprint, unfortunately. Yeah, so also what this means is we'll start on the front row for the Grand Prix. It's a front row lockout for Mercedes, and hopefully we can get the job done in the Grand Prix. But Verstappen is going to be fast, that's for sure. We're going to have to try and play some strategy games to keep him behind. Strategy all set then for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Looks like a one-stopper is probably the most expected strategy, but I'm going to go for an aggressive two-stopper here. Starting the softs, we've got 2 sets of brand new softs to use. The AI doesn't. Well, I say AI, I mean Max Verstappen. Going to go soft, medium, soft with George Russell. Soft, hard, soft with Lewis Hamilton. Just to try and cover off all eventualities, and hopefully we can be... I'm prepared to give up track position later in the race because we'll have hopefully built a gap later on through the race to basically drop into and then close up on the leaders. We won't need to overtake quite so many people. Safety cars, red flags are all going to come into play here, so we're going to have to think on our feet. Obviously the AI pitted under the safety car in the sprint, so we're going to have to be wary of that. We've got 3 sets of mediums to use, so if there's a safety car, so we've got 2 sets of mediums to use because we use one in the sprint. So if there's an early safety car, we can jump onto mediums and just change the strategy and just keep pushing the tyres, because as long as we keep being ready to go onto new tyres, then I think we'll be all right. If Verstappen doesn't score any points, George Russell could become the world champion in about 15 minutes time. in the video, probably about half an hour in my time, maybe 45 minutes. Let's see how this goes. Let's do a Las Vegas Grand Prix. Alright then, it's night time. Let's spin the roulette wheel and see what happens in Vegas. The lights are out, the race is on. It's a good start for George Russell. How's Lewis Hamilton getting on? He's under pressure from Verstappen, who is on a set of mediums because he used softs in the sprint. We have secured first and second, so immediately first things first. Don't fight teammate Lewis. Let's pull away from the Red Bull. Let's see what everyone else is doing on tyres. Everybody is on mediums bar Gasly and Tsunoda, and then us. So I would assume they're doing some form of one stop. So if we can pull away, we can put ourselves in a really, really good position here. We're leaving Verstappen behind. Got 2 laps till DRS activates. So let's just continue to stretch that gap at the front. Alright, 5 laps in, and we haven't pulled out the gap that I hoped we would pull out. That's Hamilton actually looking at taking the lead. Because he's under pressure from Sainz, and Verstappen and Perez and Ocon and Leclerc are here as well. It's just a front 7. And then there's 3.5 seconds back to Gasly. But, yeah, I mean, it's not ideal. But we could also be stuck here somewhere. They could be coming past us. In fact, Sainz is dropping back a bit. Hamilton, I'm just going to ask you to look after your tyres a bit more. Maybe avoid the high-risk curbs. And perhaps the same with Russell. We just want to get these tyres under control temperature-wise, because that's going to be hurting both our pace and our wear. Right, we are approaching the pit window. I'm going to try and extend the stint a little bit because we would still come out right at the back and in a whole load of traffic. So it's going to keep going as far as we can, basically. Hamilton doing a great job protecting George Russell, though it might not look like it at the moment. That is Verstappen right behind. And basically Hamilton's blocking the inside line into the corners so no one can dive down the inside of Russell. We hit the optimal pit stop lap for Lewis. And as long as Lewis still has DRS, which he does, then everything's cushy. As Lewis heads to the pit lane. Hopefully Russell has opened up a 1 second gap. He has not. But he might, because he's deploying, he might be able to defend. At least be a good stop. 2.9 isn't amazing. George is going to go on to a set of mediums as well. Where's Lewis going to pop out in all of this?
Just be careful, traffic, pit exit.
P7. Oh, the weird exit. The weird pit exit. Okay, P7 and an angry pack of cars. Look at that. That is absolutely incredible. Russell has deployed and escaped the attentions of Max Verstappen for now, who will now take the lead of this race. Russell into the pit lane. He's going to hand the lead to Perez, who has obviously DRS'd his way past Verstappen. Slick stop from the boys in black. Russell comes out pretty comfortably, actually, ahead of Hamilton, who's still got Logan Sargent right on his tail. So this could work out quite nicely for us. We're going to undercut them, and hopefully we can then pull out some sort of gap before our second stop. We've just done 38.6 and 38.7, which is quicker than anybody in the field. Hamilton does have the fastest lap, which is important because it's one extra point that Verstappen clearly can't have, but we would like George Russell to have it as well. What I might get them to do now, actually, seeing as they're full fat of battery, is use it to go faster. Still in the 38s, Hamilton literally 100th of a second quicker as Sainz and Verstappen come in absolutely together. Sainz, oh, it's a slow stop for Verstappen. This could be championship altering. They still can't get it off. Now the tyre goes on. Oh my gosh, Red Bull are having a disaster in the pit lane. Is Leclerc going to get ahead of Verstappen here? That would be crucial. He might. He does. And so does Alonso. And Ocon. Oh, Verstappen's best friend Ocon is right behind him. He could take the position. Verstappen has lost 3 positions thanks to that pit stop error. Huge, huge, huge. Right, lap 30. We've just been trying to manage tyre temperatures by avoiding the high-risk curbs. It's not been quite so successful with Lewis Hamilton. It's helped George Russell. We are attacking on the tyres. We're using them. Although Carlos Sainz has picked up his pace. That said, we were avoiding the high-risk curbs, which does slow you down. So let's see what the lap time is this time around. We are probably about matching because of the state of the tyres. Verstappen's actually back in 7th, now 6th. What's our lap times? We do 39.2, 39.3. So the pit window is now open. And Sainz is a 38.4. So he is quicker. But we are about to pull the plug on our strategy. And then we're going to close up on this lot. So we'll probably pop out behind Ocon and we'll have to overtake 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars to win the race. That said, if Ferrari win first and second, honestly I don't mind because it's just about finishing ahead of Verstappen. If we can do that, then I'm happy because it just edges us further ahead in the championship. Although a win would be good, we want to score as many points as possible. So we're going for the win, but as long as we finish ahead of Verstappen, that's okay. Are we going to pop out just ahead of Ocon and Verstappen? No, we're going to be absolutely with them. The weird exit, they do need to fix that, but we are only, 4 seconds behind the Dutchman. George Russell is going to be right in that fight as well. Here we go. Is he ahead? Oh, no. No, he's not. Hamilton stays behind. So, we've got 13 seconds to make up to the leaders. And we are on much better tyres. Significantly better tyres. We're going to conserve fuel while we're here. And hopefully we'll just have the raw pace to close the gap. So now it's just all about how quickly we get through this lot here. Sainz has a 5-second lead. So we do need to consider that. Let's jump on board with him. Hopefully the DRS is nice and powerful. Can we get through here with the DRS? No, we might need to turn the overtake aggression up to high to get the job done. We're going for it on Ocon. There we go. Surprise attack. There we go. That'll do. We'll get Lewis driving in clean air as well now. As George Russell goes for it on Verstappen around the outside of the Dutchman. A fabulous pass. We only saw that sort of off board. Here we go. Mercedes making moves all over the place. Hamilton, I don't think, got the job done on Ocon. But that is massive, massive, massive for George Russell. Are we still driving in clean air? No, we're not. We're going to get clear of Verstappen and then Hamilton can come past him as well. That pit stop error has really hurt Verstappen. It's come at a crucial moment. Did he get DRS? He did. Hamilton, let's turn this overtake aggression up. He might just send it from there, you know. Not close enough, but Verstappen still hanging in there. Right, we have finally got Hamilton clear of Verstappen. But he is going to bring Verstappen along with him. We've just dropped Ocon. At the front, Perez has started battling with Leclerc. There we are in the background. Russell is closing this lot down. He's now got the fastest lap. That's crucial because that's an extra point in George Russell's pocket. Okay, we're right on them. And can Russell just follow Perez through? He can. Look at that lovely little block pass on the Ferrari, and that's going to make passing the Red Bull so much easier. And we'll just deploy because we can, and now we'll ask George to drive in clean air. Going to get Lewis to do the same, get him to also deploy. And Russell has, I didn't even notice actually, he did it so easily. He's passed Perez, and now he's just 3 seconds off the lead. Do need to just save that last gram of fuel. Hamilton passes Perez and is sneaking his way through past Leclerc. As it stands, we are going to be Constructors World Champions in this episode. We're going to clinch it in Vegas as it stands. But let's not get too carried away because we need to make it to the flag. 5 laps to go. We haven't closed up as quickly as I'd hoped on the Ferrari. And Leclerc and Perez have not dropped back as much as I'd have liked. So I'm going to get Russell to deploy on this lap, and Lewis too. We do need to really up our pace. Lewis is going for an overtake. Only 4/10 quicker than Sainz last time around, but we're going to be a bit quicker this time, I think, because of the deployment. You can see it coming down to under 2.5 seconds now. There is, or there was at least, a Haas in the way, which has successfully got out of the way. Hamilton, though, has lost big time to the Haas, or because of the Haas, which would have been Hulkenberg, and now is under pressure from Leclerc. Russell, however, is he only gained 3/10 that time, probably because of the traffic. We're on the penultimate lap and we're on the back straight. Russell is only 1.6 behind. I don't think he's close enough. Hamilton is under pressure from Leclerc. Ferrari have been very quick. Russell is now 2 seconds adrift. Sainz has done a fabulous job to get to the end. We're only a few tenths quicker that time around. Hamilton hanging on just about to third position. So I think we're going to need to settle for second and third here, which means Russell's 18 points would be a gain of 10 on Verstappen and give him a 12-point lead heading to Brazil. Hamilton looks like he's secured second place. Carlos Sainz is going to win the Las Vegas Grand Prix. A slight surprise winner, actually, following on from Season 1's surprise winner, which was Lance Stroll, who's currently 9th. So Carlos Sainz wins the Las Vegas Grand Prix for Ferrari, but George Russell takes the championship lead from his second place. Lewis Hamilton secures third on the podium, and Mercedes are Constructors' Champions. Celebrations at Mercedes. We have won the Constructors' Championship in 2024. The Silver Star is back on top. And that lady was hugging an invisible person. Carlos Sainz is the winner of the Las Vegas Grand Prix. The smooth operator getting the job done. A trophy there for second place goes to George Russell. Lewis Hamilton gets third. I mean, disappointing considering we were on the front row. I think had we done the same strategy as the AI, we probably would have won the race. But the important thing is that Verstappen finished only 6th. Don't mind seeing Carlos Sainz win. That's he's driven well this season. There we go. Mercedes up and dancing, handshakes, high fives, pats on the back all round. Not just for the boys and girls in the garage, for the people back in Brackley. They've done an immense job to get this car from where it was in the first few episodes of Season 2. We were, one of them was called Mid-Sadies because we were very mid. We weren't good. We did some special developments with the car and it transformed into a beast. that has won 12 races this season. This one might have been one that got away, but it doesn't matter. We've done the job we needed to do. We finished ahead of Max Verstappen. And now George Russell leads the World Championship by 12 points from the Dutchman. If Verstappen wins and gets the fastest lap, so that would be 26 points. George Russell needs to score 15 points. He'd need to finish third. So I think we can do that. I think we can put George on the podium. Problem will be is how quick will Ferrari be? And based on this evidence, they could be good. So it's still all to play for, in the drivers at least, but in the constructors, it's a done and dusted thing. Mercedes have clinched the top spot. It doesn't tell you that right now. I mean, it probably should. But yeah, Mercedes are constructors champions in season 2. But if you enjoyed that, make sure you give the video a nice big thumbs up for me. Subscribe for more F1 Manager videos from me. Make sure you join me on Monday for the season finale, where we could be crowning a new world champion, potentially George Russell, in the Brazilian Grand Prix. Leave a comment on the video as well. Tell me your thoughts on the Las Vegas Grand Prix, what we're going to see this weekend. Let me know who you think is going to win the Las Vegas Grand Prix. And who's going to win this World Championship? There's one round to go. Will it be George? Will it be Max? I'll see you in Brazil to find out. It's goodbye for now.